Hello, and welcome to Bite Size Legal, where we tackle legal issues one bite at a time. My name is Drew Jenkins, and I'm an attorney licensed in the states of Georgia and Alabama. And today, we're going to take another quick bite out of signing legal documents or executing documents correctly. We covered this topic last time, and I've realized upon review that we get lost pretty deep in the weeds. So, here are the big takeaways that I want you to get right up front this time. If you sign a document, whether you sign your name or you try and sign someone else's name, you, as the person who put the pen to paper or click the button electronically, you are responsible for that document. So if you're signing a contract that obligates you to pay or to perform something, then if you're just signing your name or you're attempting to sign someone else's name, but you don't let us know why you can sign someone else's name, you're responsible for that. And so it's important for you to realize that when you are trying to obligate someone or something else, that you sign the document in a way that does it correctly. For example, if you have the power of attorney for your Aunt Helen, right, and you're helping her with something, and you walk into the bank and you try and sign documents, the bank is going to look at you very strange because you're not Helen, right? I mean, unless, of course, you are Helen, which is totally fine. Just switch the name to something else. But in our case, we need to know what gives you the right to sign on behalf of Helen and to make sure that anyone that sees your signature knows that you're signing on behalf of Helen. Because the one thing that you should not do, important point number 2, do not sign someone else's name unless you follow that up with a by his attorney in fact or her attorney in fact or, as attorney in fact by your name, right? Depending on your particular state or depending on your particular underwriter or financial institution, they may want you to write it in a very specific way, your power of attorney. And to me, this is the most important one to understand because A, you're likely signing for most people, it would be on behalf of someone else. So it would be through a power of attorney. And B, it helps you understand the relationship. Because ultimately, if you are trying to sign on behalf of either someone else or on behalf of your company, right? Let's say that you own a company and you want to enter into a contract on behalf of the company. If the contract is in your name and you're signing your name, then your company is not obligated under the contract. You are personally obligated under the contract. And what we're talking about in the big picture is called a principal agency relationship. And this is why power of attorney is a very clear way to talk about this. In a power of attorney, there is clearly the principal, right? This is the person who should be signing documents. This is the person who should be taking action. And they have appointed someone or they have nominated someone. If they have said, look, instead of my signature, right, I'm going to let someone else's signature be on it. And I want everyone to know that this other person, they're authorized to take action in my name, right? And that agent in this circumstance is referred to as the attorney in fact. And the power of attorney is a document that is signed by the principal, right? It's signed by our Aunt Helen in my example, granting you the authority to sign on her behalf. And remember a big point, you don't ever sign just Helen's name, right? That is wrong in all cases. Instead, you may typically sign her name, comma, by her attorney in fact, comma, your name, or other ways, another common way you see it is your name, comma, as attorney in fact for Helen, right? So that way everyone is on the same page as to what happens. And taking this basic structure, we can apply this to any other relationship where you are signing on behalf of someone or something else, right? The LLC is very simple. You are going to sign, if you're the owner, in your capacity as the member or the manager. So the name on the contract or the name on the deed or conveyance or whatever it is, it'll be your company's name. And then at the bottom of it, it will have your company's name again. Then it will be your name, comma, manager, member, however you want it. There are other ways to do it, but the important thing is to treat it as though you have a power of attorney for your company. You need to let people know who you are in relationship to the company you're signing on behalf of, right? We see the same thing when someone is deceased and you have the executor or the administrator of the estate, right? The seller or the obligated party is going to be the estate. The estate is unable to sign, it's an entity, so you as the administrator, as the executor, are signing. So you don't sign just your name, and remember, you can't sign just on the estate, right? We have to know who you are in relationship to the estate. And again, we have a document that will back that up, right? The court will give you either letters of administration or letters testamentary, or however they call it in the jurisdiction. But remember, what we're looking for is a clean chain to get back to who has authority to sign. Now, the one wrinkle I want to point out is when it comes to corporations signing, depending on your jurisdiction, there may be additional rules, and we're going to actually cover that next week, making sure that you have properly signed on behalf of a corporation for specific jurisdictions. So I hope you found this useful, and if not, at least enjoyable. I hope I've cleared some things up a little bit. Remember, the big takeaways: if you sign in your name, you are responsible. If you sign someone else's name, you may have committed some form of fraud. So make sure that if you are signing for someone or something else, that you disclose that on the document you're signing, right? It's your name and the capacity in which you're signing. Thank you very much, and see you next week.